Welcome to the Automated Daily Space News Edition, the podcast created by generative AI. Today, a giant telescope moves closer to first light. Hubble and Webb team up on a black hole find. Reusable rockets hit another milestone, and the next wave of missions keeps building toward the future. This episode is brought to you by Stock MVP. Stock MVP helps you invest like the pros using data-driven insights. Find the link in the episode notes. First up, one of the biggest long-term astronomy projects on Earth has crossed an important threshold. The extremely large telescope, under construction in Chile, has reached a major milestone, a reminder that the next generation of observatories is steadily coming together. When the ELT eventually begins science operations, it is expected to sharpen our view of exoplanets, distant galaxies, and some of the deepest questions in modern cosmology. In orbital astronomy, NASA says astronomers have identified a stellar mass black hole by combining archival Hubble observations with follow-up work from the James Webb Space Telescope. That is a powerful example of how discoveries do not only come from brand new data. Sometimes the breakthrough happens when scientists revisit older observations with better tools, better models, and a fresh question. On the launch front, SpaceX is preparing a Falcon 9 mission carrying 29 Starlink satellites, and this flight is expected to mark the 600th booster reuse across the Falcon fleet. That number is more than a statistic. It shows that reusability is no longer a dramatic experiment, but a normal part of launch operations, with major implications for cost, cadence, and the overall pace of activity in low Earth orbit. Meanwhile, SpaceX's bigger ambition is also moving forward. The company is now targeting no earlier than July 16th for Starship Flight 13, the next integrated test of its heavy lift system. Even before liftoff, schedule updates like this matter because each test adds to the picture of how quickly fully reusable deep space transport is maturing and how realistic those longer-term lunar and Mars plans may become. Human spaceflight is active on multiple fronts today. Russia is launching a NASA astronaut and 2 Roscosmos cosmonauts to the International Space Station, another sign that ISS cooperation continues, even in a complicated geopolitical era. At the same time, China has returned scientific experiment samples from its own space station, showing that low Earth orbit research is expanding into a more globally distributed system of laboratories. Looking ahead, NASA's Nancy Grace Roman Space Telescope is now in Florida as it prepares for a planned August launch. Roman is designed to survey huge areas of the sky in infrared light, complementing the deeper but narrower view of Webb. That means it could become one of the most important tools of the next decade for studying dark energy, mapping galaxies, and finding new exoplanets. And finally, a lighter but still fascinating astronomy note. NASA's astronomy picture of the day features Tori Fune, a double-lobed asteroid whose shape hints at a violent and messy history of collisions and reassembly in the solar system. Add to that a nearby exoplanet, about 25 light-years away, that may be more Earth-like than scientists once thought, plus the dark skies of a July new moon. And it is a good moment to remember that space news ranges from giant observatories to tiny worlds and the possibility of familiar ones beyond our own. Thanks to our sponsor, Prezi. Prezi helps you create stunning AI-powered presentations in minutes. Find the link in the episode notes. That is your space news roundup for July 14th, 2026. From black holes to boosters and from future telescopes to tonight's dark skies, there is always more to explore. Join us next time for another automated daily space news edition.